Hi, so the content of this video I filmed like several weeks ago before the protesting began. And so I then did not upload it because it didn't feel appropriate, and I don't think it was appropriate. And I've been struggling with kind of what to do with my channel from here on out. But I saw a really interesting post saying that, like, you can't put your content on hold during the Black Lives Matter movement and then expect there to be an end to that, and then you can just go back to like normal. Like, there's not going to be a time where it's like, okay, cool, we can just center my white voice now. Like, done with that. And so, what I've realized that I need to do is be able to have my anti-racism work coexist with other parts of my life that I was doing before all these protests began, and like before I started doing anti-racism work to the degree that I'm doing it now. I was always kind of aware of it, but that awareness has been heightened recently for sure. And so what that means for me is that I'm not going to be like, okay, cool, the fight's over. Like, I still have a lot of anti-racism work to do. So I'm going to keep all my anti-racist energy up, and keep doing that work. And probably more of it will be offline than on. And so I will be uploading this video and videos like this that are not related, because it's important that I don't feel like I'm just pushing those back until a point when it's like okay to do them again, because it's not like an all or nothing thing. It's like a lifelong, like, I have to keep up both things. So that's where I'm at. Keep doing the work. Black Lives Matter. Enjoy the video. Hey friend, today I wanted to show you some of the upcycled clothing that I've been making recently, like the DIYs I've been doing with clothing. I've had a lot more of an interest in like sustainability and sustainable living lately, and then part of that is getting the most use that I can out of the stuff that I already own. And so I have clothes that I don't wear for one reason or another, that are in my closet that if I just made little adjustments to them, I would wear them again. So I took the time to do that, and I wanted to share them with you. This is not going to be like a tutorial, but it's more like inspiration for what can be done. And I have not no sewing experience, but little sewing experience. I have learned how to use a sewing machine, but it's been a while, and I only quilted. I didn't do anything with clothing, but I did get help from my mom, who does know sewing things, and that was very helpful. But I do think that with the internet, I could have figured this all out by myself, but my mom did make it easier. So the first thing is I have a couple of t-shirts that are kind of like too long to be a crop top, but too short to be tucked into my jeans. Like, they're always popping out of my waistband. And so I decided to turn those into crop tops. And so it was really helpful to have an extra set of hands for this. I went over to my mom's, since we're all isolating together, and she helped me choose the right length. And then I sewed them using a twin needle, I think it's called, where it's two needles attached to one little, wherever the needle goes in the machine. And so that is a stitch that allows the shirt to be a little bit stretchy. It's not ever going to be as stretchy as the stitches that are done in factories on t-shirts, but this is the best you can do at home. And I think they turned out great. I just like cut off the extra, and I had crop tops, and they looked really good. It was exactly what I was going for. And now those shirts will definitely be back in my rotation in the summer when I'm looking for a crop top to wear. So for my other 2 projects that I did recently, it all revolves around one pair of jeans. So I got these jeans from Target like 6 months ago, and they were kind of a catalyst in figuring out what I wanted in jeans. They were the first high-waisted jeans that fit me in a way that was actually very comfortable. And they're mom jeans, and so they're a little bit looser. And that was definitely the vibe I was going for. I was transitioning away from skinny jeans. So I had these Target jeans that I just loved, but they are not very well made. And in the very front, like in the crotch area, they started stretching out. And so it would have just like this poofy section just right on the front of my jeans. And at first I kind of just like wore them anyways, but it just got worse and worse. And so I kind of stopped wearing them at some point. And so I started Googling if there was something I could do to fix them, like to get them unpuffy. And the answer is no, you can't. They're stretched out. That's just how it goes. And so then I started Googling ways to prevent it from happening. And the advice that I found was to not use heat on them, like not put them in the dryer on warm, like you can just let them air dry. And so, since these jeans were so special to me and were like my primary jeans for so long, I went on a secondhand fashion app and found the exact same jeans in the exact same size and color, secondhand, but not stretched out. And I ordered those. And when they came in, they were too big. I've had this problem when I bought pants from Target in the past, but it's as if they haven't actually standardized their sizing, because the number on the jeans was the same, but the size was obviously at least one size up. And now I like a loose fitting jean. There were things about these jeans that worked for me. The waist was too big, but I wear a belt all the time anyways, and I was able to like cinch it in with that, and that wasn't an issue. But just like the thighs were so baggy. But they're still, I love these jeans, and since it was secondhand, I couldn't just return them, so I decided to tailor them to fit me better. So my mom helped with this one too. I put them on inside out, and we pinned down the sides how much I wanted to take in, and then just sewed down the side. I was so nervous about just sewing it, but Mom said, yeah, just follow kind of the path these pins have set out and you'll be fine. And we didn't like sew it, we basted it, which is like a really wide stitch, or long. I don't know which of those measurements is technically correct. But that's so that if it's totally wrong, it's a lot easier to take the stitches out. And so we went through a couple of iterations of basting and then putting it back on and then pinning a little bit more like further in. And then I finally got them to a place that I was happy with. So I did a real stitch over the top, and I think I'm like blown away by how I didn't feel like I was doing like a super great job of sewing like in a straight line down the thing. Like, I'm not experienced at sewing. I just kind of like went for it, but I think it like looks great. It's probably not as perfectly fitted as like a professionally tailored jean, but I wanted them to be a little loose anyways. And I am very happy with how they came out, and now I wear them all the time. And so that's another thing I basically wouldn't have worn at all until I upcycled it. So then, now I have these old jeans that have the stretched out poofy part, and I started thinking, what can I do with these? I thought about a lot of different options to try to tone down the poof. And what I landed on was covering the poof area and also more of the jean with patches. And I decided I liked that look better on shorts than jeans, and so I cropped them into shorts with some help from my mom. It took me forever to figure out like the length that I wanted, but I'm happy with how it turned out. And I toyed with the idea of like finishing the edge, but I decided to just leave it rough, and over time it'll just get more and more worn and rough and textured, and I'm cool with that. And so then I have this pack of patches that I bought off of Etsy that I ironed to the front to cover up the poofy bits, or at least like distract from them, because it's like a solid poofy line, and so I didn't put a solid line of patches, but it certainly takes the eye off of the poofiness. And I'm very, very happy with it. I do feel like I wish I had more patches. I'd like for it to go down a little bit further on the shorts. I'd like to get some on the back, but this was all I had for right now. And so I think this one will evolve over time. I'll add more patches as I find patches that I like, so it could be kind of a fun little collection thing. I just ironed them on these shorts. I haven't sewn them on yet. They recommend for them to really stick, you should iron them and then go over it with a stitch, or like a stitch around the edge. And I can see why, because they're not staying on very well. So I have not been able to wear this for real yet because all the patches would come off, but I'm going to be stitching it soon so then they can go into the rotation, and I think they look really cool, so I'm very excited. Honestly, this whole project, like for these 3 things, turned out way better than I was expecting, because I've never sewn clothes before, basically. I've never done anything like this. I've never even like cropped shorts. So I consider this a massive success. So if you liked this video, please give it a like, because it really helps out my channel. And if you are new here, I make videos every Thursday. They're like lifestyle-y videos, sometimes clothes, sometimes food, sometimes other things. So if that's something you would be interested in, you can hit that subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next week.